Hey guys, welcome to the first video that I'm going to be uploading on the channel, not counting my channel trailer. My name is Edgar Ramirez. In today's video, we're going to be talking about basically how to nail that job search, because I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be graduating here in 2020. By the way, congratulations. Or you're going to be transitioning from maybe a junior to a senior, or you're going to be graduating from high school. And you might want to get into some internships, which I'm going to be talking about in a later video, but this video is also applicable so you can get the ball rolling and be ahead of the curve. I feel like a lot of the students right now, their main thing is, yes, I'm graduating, yes, I'm grateful, but at the same time, I don't have a lot of opportunities out there. A lot of companies are not really uploading or posting a lot of job openings, which to my response is, yes, that's true, but there's also another industries there are. So if you're part of the medical device, engineering, or in the sciences such as STEM industry, then you're going to find a lot of opportunities right now, especially when it comes to medical device, biotech, and pharmaceutical companies. I'm going to give you guys 5 tips on how to master your job search here in 2020 during the pandemic. Tip number 1, be strategic. Focus on the organizations, the companies that you're interested in, and research about them. Make sure to subscribe to their news alerts, because there's a lot of what Google offers, which is really cool, is they show any uploads when it comes pertaining to the company that you want. So for example, a certain medical device company would be like, oh, we have our first Q1 revenue meetings, and we're going to post the information live, or any stock information. Google will track that, and if you're interested, you can subscribe to those news, and they can email you that stuff, or show you on your phone, like, hey, a new article appeared about that. So I would definitely do that, because that way you can actually learn about the company that you're trying to apply for, and at the same time, you know what to talk about in a future interview. You can say, hey, I noticed you guys in Q3 did pretty well. Q4 might be a little bit shaky because of the pandemic, but I can see different things rolling in the different devices you guys are attempting to develop and push forward. One of the most challenging things about this is a lot of hiring managers and recruiters are not going to be actually talking to you continuously, if that makes sense. They're going to be focusing more on their own thing. They're going to be focusing on managing their team, because they're probably going to be furloughed or working from home. But at the same time, you gather as much intel as you can. So one of the options I just gave you guys is look at the news on your company. By the same time, you can actually go on Glassdoor, for example, and look at Glassdoor reviews and see what employees say about the company that you're applying for. You can also actually, and this is really weird, but I've done this, you can actually go and set investor calls. A lot of these companies, if their stock is open, if they're like startups in a way, you can actually they actually screen when they're going to go live online, and they're going to be talking about the revenue. So you can actually go in those conversations and those calls, because they're live, just like YouTube live. So you can actually, look in the information, you actually take some notes and what's important for them for the next revenue meeting. Tip number 2, use your time to actually develop or lay the groundwork of your job research. For example, I'm going to use myself as an example. I am a manufacturing engineer, which is a pretty broad term to say I help manufacture any type of product that a customer gives to me. That can be a medical customer, that can be an aerospace customer, and we make their device more manufacturable, more testable, and ready to be marketable. Now, I didn't just want to be a manufacturing engineer. It's not something that I knew a job position like that existed when I was in college. I actually want to be a research engineer, because unfortunately, when it comes to research, there's not really any openings that are that common. They're not really that common. I didn't know about manufacturing, though. I didn't know that was actually like a manufacturing engineer. I didn't really know that was a thing. I knew about quality engineers, for example, but I just didn't really know, because when I was networking, I didn't network with those specific type of people. I was networking with people who did research engineering. One of the things they told me is, hey, you should probably not go into research engineering, even though you have a really good background for it, because these positions are not that available. They're not that common. I had to tinker and actually work my resume to see what type of positions I can apply for. A lot of these people, engineers that I talk to, I showed them my skills, and they'd be like, oh, you have a lot of like design skills. You have a lot of, how to make products commercial. You know how to work in NPIs, which is new product installations. So they said, hey, if you can do that type of stuff, you can probably work as a manufacturing engineer. You do a little bit of research, but you also work in the productivity and the producibility of a certain material and a certain medical device. That's more of my background. So that's the same thing I'm going to be telling to you guys. Pretty much tell, okay, this is the type of skills that I have, and what do I want to learn, what do I need to learn, and what can I apply for right now with the skill set that I have. So what I tell my mentees, I actually create a Venn diagram. On one side, I have all these skills that they have that can be designed, that can be the different softwares that they use, anything that's pertaining to their current curricula. And on the other side is the type of positions that actually in the job descriptions actually match what they want. So for example, if you're really good with documentation, you might want to go for a quality engineering position. If you're really good with designing, then you might go into a mechanical engineering job, a design engineering, or a manufacturing engineering job. It doesn't mean that one by one, different skills can be related for different positions. And that's the reason why it's important to lay the foundation on what type of positions you guys are interested in. That way you can apply for various multiple jobs. And maybe that's not the dream role that you're waiting for, but it might be the good step forward into that dream role in the future. Or maybe you find a new passion of yours. In laying your groundwork, make sure to work on your resume, your portfolio, and your cover letter. If you're going to be applying for positions like quality engineer versus manufacturing engineer, you probably don't want to use the same resume, because you're not going to highlight the same amount of skills and the same ideas in each resume. If you have more documentation background, you want to go with quality. If you have more calibration background or equipment with quality, if you want to say, hey, I know how to work on timelines and whatnot, and how to troubleshoot different things, you want to go manufacturing. Also, you want to work on your LinkedIn. This goes into number 3, which I'll step in a little bit. But basically, working your LinkedIn is adding your resume, adding any papers, any portfolios, any PDFs, any presentations you guys have, they're related to your skill set. LinkedIn is great in being basically an online resume with a little bit of spark, a little bit of that personality. I'm all about being against robotic, which basically for me that means I don't like when people go on an interview and they're just robotic, just sitting down, staring, just giving yes or no answers, not really having any passion. And the thing is, using your resume is pretty much it's a one-way ticket to getting into a job, but you can't really showcase that skill. You can't really showcase like your personality. But in your LinkedIn, you totally can. In your LinkedIn, yeah, you have your professional page, which is basically all your experiences, but at the same time, you can actually show your information, show what your likes. You can actually customize your banner and be like, hey, I like medical device, but I like this portion of medical devices. Or you can be like, hey, I actually belong to all these organizations and clubs because I like giving tutoring and whatnot. It can be anything, and you can totally do that. Then companies know the type of person you are, and they know the type of questions they can ask you. At the same time, you know what they're going to ask you because you showcase that information for them. Lay that foundation, lay it well, know exactly what your career's goals are. If you don't know, start by something. Start with the field, start with certain positions that are applicable to that. Learn the descriptions, watch interviews, connect with people that actually do what you're researching about, and know exactly what it is about. You can take advantage of the time you have right now, the slow job market, so you have extra time to actually prepare and ask for feedback, for example. To number 3, which is register for online classes. Right now, like I said, the whole job market is slowing down, so you can use this time to actually enhance any skills that you feel you're either behind or that you're just interested in getting more skills at or more learning at, something you can get better at. So use this time to actually, if you feel like you're behind, get ahead or be on par with people. Or you can say, hey, I want to learn this new skill because I think it might be applicable for the future, and why not? A lot of these online courses right now are available, so subscribe to them, look for them, and add them to your resume or add them to your LinkedIn. You can actually show in LinkedIn, hey, I learned this new, CAS model software, if there's any like that, and you can be like, hey, and I know how to master it really easily. And you can show like a quick tutorial, you can show like your project that you did, like a snapshot, anything like that. And that is cool for what's going to be the next point, but which is networking. But at the same time, right now, you can foment those skills and be a little bit more competitive when it comes to the job market. So a couple of companies you can research for these online courses are, for example, and I'm going to read them because it's a lot and they have really interesting names and I don't want to butcher them. You can use MOOCs, which is basically massive open online courses. Also edX, which are pretty much MIT and Harvard courses. Those are pretty cool if you want to have that prestige of having those courses. You have Allison, Udemy, Khan Academy, Coursera, Udacity, LinkedIn Learning. You have Skillshare, Code Academy, if you want to learn about coding. You have FutureLearn, you have Adobe TV, if you want to learn about editing, you want to learn about different cool video skills and stuff like that, and you have free trainings and tutorials here on YouTube or on LinkedIn. Not only LinkedIn Learning, but the actual LinkedIn page, the homepage. You don't have to, be an expert in them, but at the same time, you can actually get the ball rolling and say, hey, because let's say you're like you want to do advertisement and stuff like that, or accounting, and you want to learn more about the marketing of things or trends, or you want to know, hey, you want to go into like the computing and programming business, but I don't know much about it. So maybe I can take a couple coding classes, or I can learn about the economics and the macroeconomics or microeconomics of programming, and there you go, and it's free courses. Number 4, and probably my most favorite one, and I'm going to be emphasizing this a lot on this channel, networking, networking, networking. In networking, you can get some valuable information about any company that you're researching about. So let's say there's a particular medical device company that you're researching, you're like, hey, this company is great. It seems like their website is pretty cool, that the products that they work with are pretty cool. I think their mission statement's pretty cool. Now I need to know how it is to work there, how it is to do the position that I'm researching about, the environment, the whole 9 yards. So you go on Glassdoor reviews and you say, hey, a lot of employees seem pretty happy. Now I need to know, and those are past employees, by the way. So now you want to know what the current employees are saying. So you go on LinkedIn and you actually click on the company. You're trying to search the company. You see the list of people who work there, and then on people, and you say, oh, this person is specifically worth the same thing that I'm applying for, the same job position. So maybe I'm going to reach out to them and say, hey, I'm a graduating senior, or whatever your position is right now. Maybe you're trying to look for an internship. And you might say, hey, I saw that you work for the company. I saw your background is similar to mine. Can you explain what this position is all about? I just don't know much about it, or about this company. Can you talk to me about it? I want to see if I can fare in today's job market. Basically, you want to say, hey, can I fare in this company? And that person might respond to you saying, yeah, for sure. I mean, we can have like a coffee date, or we can like just do like a quick call, or just by chatting, we can totally exchange information. It's a little bit daunting to do it because I feel like people are like, oh my God, it's a complete stranger. I don't know who they are. I don't want to like bug them and stuff like that. It doesn't need to be like that. A lot of these people who are professionals and are on LinkedIn, they're all about enhancing their own professionality, their own circle, their own network, and helping others as well. If you're not on LinkedIn, that's probably because you want to be a part of this community. Not to dawn on you, but a lot of people feel like just with the resume is sufficient, but we're in 2020 and LinkedIn is actually way more powerful than your resume, in my opinion. One of the things you can also do on LinkedIn is actually look into who can be your mentor. You can look for people like, hey, I feel like you're an expert in your certain position, your certain career, and it seems like by your posts or by your experiences that you have the similar career goals as mine. Maybe you can get some feedback to me, and what you give them in return is you're not just making them feel like they're valuable and they're like a nice person. Be like, oh my God, like someone's actually coming out and talking to me. That's pretty cool. That's pretty like someone actually cares about my background and think I'm an expert. That's pretty cool. At least to me, I feel I can talk about the majority of LinkedIn users. It's pretty cool when people connect with you and they feel like they are valuing your experience and what you provide. Also, other ways you can network is chime into different organizations, chats, forums, blog rooms. You can demonstrate a perspective or expertise that you might have. So let's say with the whole pandemic and there's shortages of masks, you can be like, hey, what are we 3D print masks? And it can be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Or maybe you saw this DIY video that's been CDC approved, hopefully, about how to make masks, and you put on your LinkedIn like, hey, people, if you want to make masks at home, this is how you can do it. And then you can create a conversation like that. Or you can chime in to people's posts, like them, comment on them, and you can actually mention yourself or mention someone else, things like that. Get the ball rolling, get your name out there, because people remember me more that way than just any applicant that's on a white piece of paper, your resume. One of the last things about networking that I'll be talking about in this video is that it actually leads into job fairs, it can lead into career service and networking. Some people, and I've experienced this before, some engineers might be like, hey, the questions that you're asking me, completely cool, completely valid, I just don't feel I have the necessary expertise for it. So I'm gonna be pushing you to another engineer who I feel has more experience in what you're asking. And then that way, maybe you're being ping-ponged, but at the same time, you're still in the triangle, you're still in the conversation, and you're the topic at hand. So you're not being missed out. The last tip that I'm gonna be giving you guys, tip number 555, is having patience. assume that your job search right now is going to be slower, guys, slower than a normal seasoned job search because of the pandemic. Consider any, temporary jobs, consider any, volunteer work and stuff like that, that you feel you might be learning some skills and learning something from. One of the best things I can say about being patient, guys, is in a way, be sympathetic about what companies are going through right now. Understand, and you probably do, but you gotta be looking at a bigger picture. Understand that a lot of companies are laying off people. A lot of people are being furloughed, or a lot of people are working from home. So there's a lot of stress. How to keep these people, safe and make these people and keep their job. The thing is, this job search is a good thing, like I said before, because it's creating a longer time for you guys to develop all these skills and lay the groundwork. But you gotta be patient. A lot of these positions that you're applying for, you might not get responses right away. It might take some time. A lot of companies are assessing their situation as every day goes. They might be furloughing people, then people might be coming back, people working from home, so they're still adjusting to that. Or people are laying off. A lot of companies are actually shutting down, unfortunately, because they do a lot of negotiations or a lot of their business across the United States or across the world, and they can't do that anymore. They can't transport stuff. So one of the tips I'm going to give you guys, if you guys are applying right now, or you're trying to reach out for networking, acknowledge in every sense of the word. Acknowledge to any employer, to any engineer, to anybody you're talking about, hey, I know this current situation is happening. Thank you so much for reading this email, reading this message. Take your time to respond. I'm not in a hurry, because I understand what's happening. I understand the pandemic's taking a lot of your time. It's pretty weird, and things are uncertain. The thing is, you want to convey that message that you understand and you're sympathetic, and that just makes you skyrocket even more, because employers are going to be looking at you like, oh wow, they're really active and they really are hungry to learn, hungry to have that first job. But at the same time, they acknowledge that, hey, I know I'm not a priority right now. Well, that person, they're not a priority right now. They know that I need to look for myself and my well-being, and that way I can help everybody else. So just to recap, number one, be strategic about your job search. Look the companies up beforehand so you know exactly what you're getting. Tip number two, use this time to lay the foundation for your job search. So that means looking at careers, looking at positions, looking to make your profiles and your resume and your cover letter better, so you guys can look even more profesh than the people around you, or in your same major. Number three, register for online courses so you can develop even more skills and what. Number four, network so you can know what it is about what you're getting into, know the people around you, maybe they can give you recommendations and advice, and that way you can grow not only professionally but socially as well. And number five, showcase patience. And with that being said, guys, that's the end of the video. If you guys like this video at any point here, there, or anywhere, make sure to like this video, and also comment down below of any advice that you guys would like for me to give you on future videos. And that being said, guys, hopefully you guys are killing it and becoming even more profesh every single day. This was Edgar Ramirez, and I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye-bye.